Thanks for checking out our virtual story time and more for the month of March. Our books this month were Plant the Tiny Seed by Christy Matheson, a really fun interactive story about a flower seed growing and all the stages of its life. And A Fruit is a Suitcase for Seeds by Jean Richards, which gets into the science of seeds and fruits, especially for plants that we eat, which is exciting. If you missed these stories for our story time, or you want to make them a part of your home library, I really encourage you to check these out at your local library when you're able, or order them from a local bookstore. Stay tuned for some crafts and activities that correspond to these stories, all about the magic of seeds. Okay, so there are two crafts we have for you today. The first one is dry bean art. So I made a little necklace here, and all you need is a little bit of clay. And if you don't have clay, you can use Play-Doh, and you can even do this on a piece of paper or cardboard with a little bit of glue. You really just need a surface where you can press dry beans or seeds, or whatever you have. So I have a little bit of clay. I'm gonna press it out as flat as I can into a disc, and I even have my bamboo rolling pin to help me. Here we go. At home you might have a real rolling pin, that could work too, but careful not to get it covered in clay if you have sticky clay. And once I have it kind of flattened out pretty well, I'm going to take a cookie cutter. We have a flower, so that makes sense for a seed day, but any cookie cutter works. And if you don't have a cookie cutter, don't worry about it. Just make whatever shape you want with your hands. I'm going to press out this flower and then just decorate. So I've got, what do I have? Some split peas here, some dried split peas that I can use. I've got some old dried pinto beans that I can use. And then I've got some old seeds from last season in the garden. Here's some mixed greens seeds and some summer squash and a little bit for some colorful pizzazz, a little bit of purple corn. And so as carefully as I can, I'm going to make a design with my beans, and you can be creative with what you have. If you don't have a whole lot of different colors or types of dry beans or seeds at your house, you can still make something really awesome with how you design it. And it's just really relaxing and kind of focusing to press all these beans in however I want. And if you want to make a necklace or a little hanging ornament like I did with this one here, just take a little stick or a pencil, whatever you have around, and press a little hole anywhere you'd like. And then as it dries in the sun, that hole will allow you to hang it up on a piece of thread or yarn. So it's easy as that, and it's kind of endless hours of fun, because if you don't let the clay dry, you can just take the beans out and start over again. And then, while you have your beans or seeds out, it's really easy to start seeds at home and have a little science experiment to watch your seeds sprout while you're kind of sitting around at home and able to watch it. So I have just some garden beans, and I've filled up half of an egg carton, which is really easy before you recycle your egg carton or throw it away. I've just cut off the lid, and this is great because this cardboard will decompose in the soil, so when the seeds are sprouted, I can just cut out these cells really carefully and plant them straight into the ground. But I've got my bean seed. I'm just going to press it down about an inch for these types of seeds, but it depends on what type of seed you're using, how deep it needs to go. And once they're all in the ground, I've got my spray bottle, but you could just as easily drizzle a little water from the kitchen sink. Just gonna keep it moist while you're waiting for them to sprout. You don't want the soil to dry out. Once it does sprout, you can lay off the watering just a little bit, let the soil dry out a bit in between watering. But at this stage, keep it nice and moist, keep a good eye on it. One way to help do that is to cover it. So I've got this plastic container, and if I leave that in a sunny spot, like on the kitchen table by the window, it will help trap moisture and make sure that the soil stays nice and moist. So if you don't have seeds at home, also, You can try and use dry beans from the grocery store. Sometimes they're too old or treated with heat so that they don't sprout, but sometimes they will. So experiment, or maybe some of the fruit that you got at the grocery store. Find the seeds and see if they sprout. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. So enjoy seeds at home, and we hope to see you in the garden soon, but until then, take care, and we wish you all the best. Thanks.